for your values and fight for your friends. Fight through this blight, find the light at the end. Through the age of the dragon, the people will talk of the day they were saved by a hero named Hawk.
You're listening to Reignite, a podcast about anger. I'm Frankie.
And I'm at AK Stormageddon.
Orsino wants us to investigate some suspicious mages. They get mad that we exist near them and don't let us talk. Turns out everyone wants Meredith gone and they don't care what we think about it. Someone Hawk loves is kidnapped, everything is awful forever.
You seem a little salty.
I hate this.
Okay. Do you want to get into why now or wait till we get there?
We'll get into it as we talk about it.
Okay.
This mission starts with a letter. It will be either from Orsino or from Meredith, depending on who you've been siding with throughout the act. We have both been siding with Orsino when possible, so we get the letter from Orsino. And when we go and talk to him, he tells us that even though Meredith is fucking batshit, maybe she's not entirely wrong. Which I want to be like, you want to say that again? You want to say that again to my husband's face? We find out that some mages may be using dangerous means to oppose her. They're leaving at night for days at a time. And Orsino is worried that blood magic is involved, but he doesn't want to make any assumptions.
Right.
So when we ask, do you think there are traitors in the circle? He says, traitors, perhaps. Rebels, certainly. And honestly, hell yeah, rebels.
Yeah, fight back. Like, screw falling in line with this shit. I don't understand. Like, it's funny. Orsino is just such a weak foil to Meredith. Meredith, love or hate, is a strong character, is a well-made character. Orsino just feels very wishy-washy, and it kind of drives me bonkers.
I agree. I think that as first enchanter, leader of the circle, he needs to have a stronger will to stand against the Knight Commander and protect his people. Like, yes, you want to make sure that they don't get consumed by demons. I agree with you in wanting to protect your people from demons and being like, hey guys, blood magic ain't it. I get it. I do. But also, you are bowing to the system while... Hang on, I want to rewind what I'm saying. But Orsino, he talks a big game, but he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, also his position is a machination of the system. Like,
yeah.
The circle is a machination of the system. Him being the head of the circle is a machination
Right.
of the system. And so, like, even if he doesn't agree with Meredith, he still has to operate within the system.
Yeah.
Because he does agree with some of it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have taken the position.
I wonder if first enchanters are ever given the choice of taking the position.
That's true. They may not. They may just be, you're pushed into it if you show some kind of aptitude. I hadn't thought of that.
Like, you're assigned. Neither here nor there. I push against involving the Templars because, like, why would I do that? But I really wish that having Anders in our party for this mission had some kind of impact, because there is some kind of conspiracy going on. And if it's about mages trying to resist Meredith, why would they not go to the #1 mage rebel in all of Kirkwall?
Yeah, also, like, the player character often gets specialty choices based on their background, their class, relationships, who you brought along, that kind of stuff too. And I, as a mage, got nothing special that I can recognize that was unique for me being a mage, other than, like, one-off lines like, you know, like, this affects my life because I'm a mage or whatever, like those kinds of things, but no, like, specialty choices.
So we find out that a meeting is happening in the Hightown, and we know that Meredith is angling to initiate the rite of annulment, which, if that sounds familiar, is because it's something that we learned about in Origins. This is having a circle purged of mages when the circle has proven to be irredeemable. This was almost done in Ferelden because of the demon takeover. And you could have it happen in Origins if that's the way you want to play it, or you can push against the right of annulment and be like, no, we took care of all the demons. Like, there are no demons left. We took care of all the blood mages. Everyone that is remaining is, like, anti-blood magic, and they're all fine.
Yeah, and so, like, we know at this point, if you've played the previous game, that this is bad, and that can't happen because it could ruin the lives of a lot of mages. Even if there are a few bad eggs, that doesn't mean that you have to throw out the whole dozen.
Right. So when we go to Hightown at night, no matter how slowly you creep, a automatic cutscene happens where Hawk approaches, someone yells at you, "We know you're spying for Ursino!" And it's Templars and mages working together, and they just outright attack you. No conversation, no opportunity to be like, hey, actually, like, why isn't there a conversation here? The conversation could still end in a fight if you decide, like, no, I'm gonna stop you. Or maybe the conversation can end in, like, hey, this is a misunderstanding, I'm on your side. And then maybe one person is like, I don't believe you. You know, like, at least give us some agency here.
Yeah, we get that agency later on in this mission, but here it's just, it breaks out in a fight, and I don't think you figure out the next location until you looted off one of the bodies.
Right. There's a torn note that reveals that there's a conspiracy happening against Meredith. And it's like, yeah, I know.
And before we go any further, did you bring your usual crew?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I brought my usual crew as well, Isabella, Anders, and Fenris. And there's a funny thing that happens when you loot the note. It says that they're meeting at the docks. And Isabel has one of my favorite lines in the entire game. She goes, "Of course they're meeting by the docks. Doesn't anyone go there just to have sex anymore?" Which is very good.
Only you, Isabella. Only you.
Only you.
We go to the docks at night. We walk in on a conversation between Karen, who we saved in Act 1. He was being experimented on by blood mages, and we determined that he was not possessed by a demon. So we returned him to the Templars and said, he's fine.
Yeah.
Karen is like, you didn't tell me that this person was involved. I don't think this is a good idea anymore.
Yeah, basically he supports us immediately and goes, I think we're making a mistake.
Yeah, and then somebody says, they're hunting us. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm your friend. Please.
This is the classic case of, if we just took a minute to talk instead of miscommunicating constantly, all of these problems would be solved.
Yeah. And Karen's like, I told them not to do it. I swear, I don't hold with kidnapping. And that's when I get very, like, aggressive. I'm like, who'd you kidnap, Karen? Who'd you take? I'm gonna be real mad.
Yeah.
Who did they take for you?
My sibling.
Yeah. If your sibling is not available, they'll take your love interest. If your love interest is in your party and cannot be taken, then they'll take, like, the next person you have the highest friendship with. For me, they did take Bethany. And they are very against Meredith. And I'm like, why does no one listen when I talk?
I know, yeah.
And, like, it's so nice to see mages and Templars working together because that's the way I believe it should be. Like, I think that the point of the circle should be an open place to learn to control your magic. You should be free to come and go as you please. And then you should be teamed up with a Templar who is basically, like, your partner.
Yep.
Who protects you when you go out on adventures. And they, like, make sure bad shit doesn't happen to you.
Yep. Agreed.
Like, I think that you should be working in tandem. And, like, it's an ideal partnership. But no!
Yeah, it's so frustrating.
It's just, it makes me so angry. I think that there needed to be a choice between killing and diffusing the situation. And if you can diffuse the situation, then that could make your position against Meredith stronger in the end. Like, there could have been so much more dynamic use of decisions. And yes, we know the development got sped up, like, things got left out. this is one of the things that got left out.
Yeah,
So this is one of the weak spots, in my opinion.
I agree.
So over to the Wounded Coast. Were you attacked by some guy named Evitz?
Remind me.
Like, the second I walked into the Wounded Coast, some guy named Evitz was like, hey, fuck you. You killed my crew like 10 years ago. And I'm like, and you still care?
I don't remember. I don't think so. I feel like I would have wrote that down unless it was that meaningless, which is possible also.
I mean, it was... I fought them. I killed them. I was like, what was the point?
Yeah. What is this related
So,
to?
and we run into Samson.
Yeah.
Have you talked to Samson at all before now?
Yeah, a few times. And didn't we do a mission with Samson at one point also?
There is an option to talk to him, but like you don't work with him.
Okay. No, I definitely did because like they recognized each other.
Yeah. So Samson is a former Templar. He is struggling with lyrium addiction. He got dismissed for whatever reason. He almost got what's his face? The Dreamer. He almost got the Dreamer captured by slavers.
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm.
That guy. So Samson talks about how we've been sticking our nose into every problem in Kirkwall since we stumbled off the boat. And how at first he thought that this would be his chance to get back at the Templars. And after seeing what he has seen, he wonders, is Meredith really wrong? Because mages can go bad. And this is where I wrote in my notes, mages and Templars should be lovers, they should be a team.
Yes, agreed.
And that, yeah. As we approach, our sibling is knocked out. For you, it is Carver. For me, it is Bethany.
Yep.
And then we see Thrask, and he's like, why do you side with Meredith? And I want to throw something at his fucking head and be like, I don't side with Meredith.
If you stop for 10 minutes to talk to me.
Turn.
Yeah. If you'd stop for 2 minutes to talk to me, you'd know that I don't. And then, of course, it's interrupted by Grace, who's still on the warpath and wants revenge.
Fucking Grace.
And so she basically says, we can't listen to Hawk. They only want what they want and blah, blah, blah. You killed my partner. Mages, everything sucks for mages. It's your fault, basically, is the gist.
Which makes no sense because we give her like multiple options.
Yes.
When we first run into her.
Yes.
And it's like, buddy, he attacked us. We had to kill him or else we'd be dead.
Yeah. And then she,
it was
of course,
self-defense.
And doesn't give you an opportunity to talk things out with Thrask. She just attacks.
Yeah. Well, did she kill Thrask for you? I don't know if there's an option for her to not.
I think so, yeah. I'm pretty sure she does, yeah.
So I managed to convince Thrask that, like, this isn't the way, bro. Yeah. And he demands that our sibling be released, and that's when Grace interrupts. Thrask says it gains us nothing to become Meredith, but it becomes clear that all this has nothing to do with Meredith for Grace. It is all about getting revenge on the champion. And Alan is also there, young, sweet baby Alan. Does he push back against Grace?
Yeah, he speaks up on our behalf saying, he's like, you defended me, you protected us, Grace, maybe this isn't our fight. And she, of course, doesn't listen.
Yeah, no. So Grace uses blood magic and kills Thrask. Now everyone wants me dead, and now I'm angry again because why do the Templars side with Grace after she kills Thrask?
It doesn't make any sense.
Like, why? Why? Why are you attacking me? She just killed your guy.
Yeah, maybe she's manipulating them or something. I don't know.
Maybe she's controlling them with blood magic. That's the only thing that I will accept. But, like, the fuck? And then, of course, blood magic is what is used to hold our sibling and the only way to bring them out again. So Alan has to use blood magic in order to help us, which is fucked up and not fair to Alan.
Yeah.
How is that like little reunion with your sibling though? How did Carver handle it?
He was grateful, actually. Like
Oh, that's good.
he had a snide comment of like, up, Hawk to the rescue, showing up just in the nick of time, as always. But like, then genuinely thanks you for coming to his aid.
Aw. Your sibling is not a Templar, is a warden, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, both of our siblings are wardens. Yeah. Bethany, super glad that still looking out for her. And then Samson comes back with Sir Cullen and is like, Sir Cullen, look at the blood. Oh, you handled it. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, my notes at this point just say, fuck Cullen.
Yeah. Cullen's so annoying. My notes say, ugh, shut up, Cullen. I fucking hate him.
Yeah, he's the worst.
So let's talk about this first decision. What do you do about Alan?
I tell them not to hurt him.
All right. I also say don't hurt Alan. Because Alan's a sweet kid. It's not his fault.
Yeah, he's trying to survive and is stuck with the worst person.
Yeah. Decision 2, I'm going to guess we both said be merciful.
I said Samson deserves a second chance.
Did you? That creep? You wanted the creep?
So maybe I didn't interact with Samson before then, but I thought that maybe he'd get into less trouble if he was in the Templars instead of running off on his own.
I think you have a gross misunderstanding of who Samson is.
Maybe, yeah.
Samson is a lyrium addict who just chills in Lowtown and also had a young mage sold to slavers.
Oh, then yeah, I must have confused him with a different character because I don't know that I remembered any of that.
Yeah, no, Samson sucks. I'm sorry.
Whoops.
And also, meta moment, skip ahead 30 seconds if you haven't played Inquisition. Though if you haven't, I don't know how you got into our podcast. But anyway, Samson is the evil guy in Inquisition for the Templar side.
Oh, yeah. So then he ends up back in the Templars anyway.
He does, but like Corypheus recruits him.
Yeah, nope. Totally forgot that too. Whoops.
Yeah. Anyway. So I said be merciful because I didn't want my mages to get murdered. So cool. Interesting. Very interesting how we have ended.
Well, so also my conversation with Samson, when I first ran into him along the way, he talked about how he's no longer, like he's off of lyrium. He's trying to find his way back to the straight and narrow. He's trying to get back into, like he confesses that he's kind of like trying to right the ship and make the right choices. Because that's why I said for them to give him a second chance, because I had that whole conversation with Samson about that.
I don't know. He's sus. He's extremely
Fair
sus
enough.
to me. And I care more about the mages than some random dude.
Well, so I didn't realize that this was one or the other, because I thought I was also able to tell them to be merciful with the mages.
No, you had one of 3 choices. It was be merciful, Samson deserves a second chance, or kill them all.
Then I must have said be merciful, because I wouldn't have picked Samson over the mages. There's no way. If that was one choice, then I definitely picked be merciful, because I remember picking that choice.
If only there was something you could have done while you were playing in order to secure knowledge while referring back to the memory.
Oh, it's in my notes. Never mind. I just didn't look at my notes, which would be helpful.
So you did say be merciful.
Correct.
I take back reading you to filth about Samson.
Okay, thanks.
Back to the gallows, talking to Orsino. I say Meredith must be overthrown, and Orsino says, shh, don't say that out loud. And then I'm just mad. I'm mad forever. Mad forever.
Yeah, he had the same reaction to me, and my meta reaction was, I'm an apostate. Y'all can't do anything about me.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Like, please.
Let Meredith try and stop me.
For real. This act really shows how rushed the game became. Because I just think that we're going to run into moments like this again and again, where we just can't speak up for ourselves, and the game kind of railroads us, which, you know, it is a narrative, so there are rails naturally, but, you know, it's a BioWare game. You're supposed to have some wiggle room.
I agree. I think that the problem here is that they clearly had a story they wanted to tell, but then after my guess is once they realized that they had less time to finish it out, they kind of beelined the main story to try and get to the point, to get to the moment that we're getting to in like 15 missions from now. And I think that it was so there was less thought in the moment to moment, because also I should be able to say more as a mage during this game and in this story, especially since earlier in the game I did. There were plenty of times where I could speak up or got a special line or a special moment because I myself am a mage, and there's seemingly none of that so far here.
It's very frustrating. I have nothing else to say.
That is fair.
Like, that's it. I'm mad. There's not much that we can do about it. There's very little choices to be made. The choices that we make, we don't see like an immediate aftermath of.
Yeah, I don't really have much to add to this mission either. I think that Orsino is a character that could have been interesting. And we talked about this earlier. He's kind of not even really seated in Act 1. He's in Act 2 a bit. It's where you get the most face time with him is in Act 3. And I feel like we just don't develop this character well enough. Meredith gets plenty of development and also appears just as infrequently. She's mostly just mentioned in Act 1. But she still gets enough development through other characters mentioning the Knight Commander. There's just not really any of that with Orsino, even when you're playing as a mage, which is just kind of a bummer.
It is a bummer because in the meta narrative, we know that Orsino played a role with Quentin, the serial killer mage.
Yeah.
But we never get a payoff to that unless you side with the Templars.
Yeah.
And that's just so infuriating to me.
Yeah. It's like they wanted to gate that behind those choices, which it's strange.
It just makes me really angry.
So I see.
I'm an angry person.
Yes. Though there's a lot to be angry about right now, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
All right. Before we get to Fandom Corner, I want to give a quick shout out to our old friend Adam, who sent us a voice memo after we recorded that I put in the episode to no fanfare because the editing gymnastics would have been a pain in the ass. But Adam, thank you for sending that in. We do have fan mail from Callie for this episode, so I'm going to play that in a minute. But I think generally I'm just going to introduce fan mail and thank those for submitting. Also, tons of conversations in the Discord. Yorkie, a new arrival to certain POV, who I know from other servers, has been chatting about their love of Dragon Age. And it's been really fun to see everybody get as engaged in these narratives as we are. And so we're eternally grateful for that back and forth. We love chatting with you all about the game. I mean, that's why we do this, right? So anyway, without any further ado, here's Callie's latest correspondence, and we'll be right back.
Honest aura, everyone. Here are some thoughts on episode 37 and On the Loose. Awfully audacious of Meredith to ask for our help hunting freed mages, and she dared to make threats. Pitiful little petty tyrant. I have never used so many red responses in one conversation. Always shared Frankie's interpretation that Meredith intended this to go badly, but with an additional layer. I think part of her goal was to expose Hawk to these examples in an attempt to persuade them. Unfortunate that we are not told much about what Yuan was trying to accomplish. It seems like maybe he initially wanted to help the elven people, and a demon took advantage of that. But surely Meryl will be more careful. Surely. Evelina sounds like a wonderful person. It is a terrible shame what the Templars pushed her to become. We will need to hope Anders will not let it happen to him. Frankie, you nearly make me cry too. Thank you for sharing your feelings so openly. Much empathy with anyone who feels overwhelmed by the world. I am usually too tired to be angry anymore, but in a constant state of low to mid-level panic with fairly regular freakouts. It is okay to not be okay, as long as we do not let ourselves stay that way. Obviously, all of us know this is allowed, but in case active encouragement helps anyone, host or listener, please take breaks from the game and podcast when you need to. I am lucky that Dragon Age 2 is actually helping me, since in the game I can make a bigger difference. I try to focus on what little I can do, maximize my chances of surviving the next few years, try to help the people I care about, and force as much joy into my life as possible. Some weeks I even manage to feel okay again. As always, many thanks to Matt and Frankie for taking the time and effort, and emotional effort, to make Reignite. And remember, all Templars are bastards, and they must be abolished and held accountable for what they have done. And Meredith is just one of the worst. And here is something that echoes in my thoughts, even in the times when it does not feel true. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me.
Thanks again, as always, to anyone who sends in audio logs to us, writes in the Discord, sends us emails. We see it all, and we really appreciate it. Now let's move on to our fandom corner. So what have you brought for us this time, Frankie?
I brought the book Treachery of Swans by A.V. Paranek. It is a queer retelling of Swan Lake, where a young woman takes the place of a promising bridal candidate in order to get closer to a magical relic that will help her and her mentor restore magic to the land. But there is more intrigue beneath the surface than she expected, and she must work with the woman she is impersonating to solve the mysteries and save the city. It's extremely gay, also very creepy and magical and gothic and French, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
I'm glad. Is this an author you've read before, or is this new?
No, I think this is their debut, actually. Let me double check that. I typed wrong. Oh, I see where I made my error. It is A.B. Paranek, not A.V. I made a typo. The V and the B are right next to each other. Okay. Treachery of Swans is not their debut. Looks like their first book was called Where the Dark Stands Still, which might also be gay.
It does sound like that they are still a up and coming new author.
Yes. Where the Dark Stands Still came out in 2024, and Treachery of Swans came out last year, 2025. I saw it in the bookstore and was like, this sounds gay. Picked it up. Guess what? It was gay. And then another author that I really like, Bea Fitzgerald, she posted about Treachery of Swans.
Mm-hmm.
And that just like sealed it for me. I was like, yep,
Sure.
I will be getting that. And I did. And I'm really enjoying it so far. It's been really hard to read lately because, you know, the world's on fire and
Yep.
life. But
Yeah.
it is a very good read. If you like yourself a gothic romance, if you like sapphics, if you like just like innocent little gay boys doing their best. Like, okay. It is gayer than I thought it was going to be. Like, I knew that there was a sapphic romance in it, but there is also a masculine romance.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't expect the two men that are into each other. And I was just like, that's a delight. And now everything makes sense. Because I don't want to spoil it, but like, it is one of those things where it's like, I'm gay, you're gay, the universe hates us. Let's just team up.
Amazing.
And I appreciate it. But yeah, it's a really great mystery. You have no idea who to trust. All you know is that Odile is gay for Marie, and Marie is super gay for Odile. So I can't wait to get to the part where they kiss. It is a young adult novel if young adult's not your jam, but I do think that the only thing that really makes it young adult is like the level of intimacy that is presented on the page and also the ages of the protagonists. Like, I don't think that it is in any way a simple read. So I know some people hear young adult and they're like, that's for teenagers. No. It's just about teenagers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. I do have some exciting news. Sarah picked up the first volume of Myrtle the other day.
Yes.
Sarah went to.
Are they liking it?
So I don't know if they. I have to talk to her. I don't know if she started it yet, but she went to the MIT Puzzle Hunt in Boston a couple weeks ago with a friend and is very into puzzles and was like in a puzzly mood and saw that at our local bookshop and was like, oh, I'll buy that. And then I was like, oh, how'd you hear about Myrtle? Frankie loves Myrtle. And so I wanted to make sure that I told you that she picked it up because I thought you'd get a kick out of it.
I love what's his fucking name? GT Carbon. I have his book like literally next to me. GT Carber. GT Carver is also a very handsome man. Like, incredibly handsome. And I love it. And I want a live action Myrtle. I don't know what that would look like, but I want it.
Heard.
GT Carver, give it to me.
So you can text Sarah and be like, hey, what do you think of Myrtle? Because she's reading it. As for me, what I brought, so I don't think I'm going to get into the specifics of the bad news quite yet, but Sarah and I received some bad news last Wednesday, and it happened to be the same day that I was supposed to go to a special event that I almost didn't go to, but I'm glad I did. So there's a musician named M. Byhold, who I've been a big fan of for a while. If you know Carly Rae Jepsen or early Taylor Swift, you have a vibe. Like, she's pop, but mixes genres, very smart music. But a lot of it is dealing with mental health and heartbreak and like, that kind of stuff. Some young love, some like pushing back against chauvinism, that kind of stuff. She's really great music. I've been a fan for about a year or two now. Her record label, Republic Records, was doing a meet and greet event called Crafting with M. So I entered. At first I thought it was a ticketed event, but it wasn't. It was just a sweepstakes. So I entered and didn't think about it. And then 2 weeks later, I won a ticket for the sweepstakes. And what it ended up being was a private fan event for about 40 folks and M. Byhold to do crafting together on her birthday, which is crazy to me. And also get a sneak peek and listen to the whole new album. She has an EP that came out a couple years ago with a song called Numb Little Bug that was a huge hit. And so this is her follow-up record. You might have heard the song Hot Goblin is the big hit from this one, but the full album doesn't come out till February. But she played the whole album at this meet and greet. We got to talk about it. She let folks ask questions about it and like hung out with folks while people made homemade tarot cards, vision boards. Like it was a really fun night, and I really needed it. And it's funny too, when we were all getting into the space for like, and there were snacks and like photo ops or whatever. When we got into the space where we'd be crafting, there was a big sofa where a young woman was sitting on the far left. So I sat down on the far right. And then one of the record label execs came over and said, "Hey, can you keep this space open in the middle?" We're like, "Yeah, sure." I assumed so he could come and sit while Em did her thing. No, that's where Em was going to sit. And so she sat right next to me.
Amazing.
She was lovely. We talked about my nails. I got to tell her about how much her music means to me. And so anyway, to make a very long story short, like I got to tell her about how my dad passed, and when he passed, like her music was helpful. Like I really like Hot Goblin. It makes me feel empowered. And so we were chatting, and then, you know, she got up and sat somewhere else in the room to chat with other folks. And then we listened to the album. And then the last track on the album was a song she wrote for her grandmother, who she lost to Alzheimer's. And so the song opens with a quote from her grandmother. It's a really sweet song. Everyone in the room is basically losing it. It was really well done. And so then at the end of the event, it was about an hour and a half, 2 hours long, the record label exec who was there was like, "Hey, we're taking photos of the event. We're going to send the photos to everybody. We don't really want to do selfies. It'll take too long. But if you form a line, you can get up, take a photo with them. Our photographer will take it and send it to you." And so we did that. And so we got in line. And when I got up to meet her, like I said a few things, like just how much her music means to me. And then I tried to talk about that last song, which I'm blanking on the name of now. And I lost it. I just started to cry. And she just asked if she could hug me, and then hugged me, which was very sweet. And then we took a photo together. And
She sounds sweet.
she's lovely. Her music's great. I'll send you a link to her new record. But it was just a really, I mean, you know this. I don't know how much the listeners know that, but I live on magic. I live on music on the same way people live on food and water. Like if I go too long without listening to music, I get depressed. And so music events are really fulfilling to me. Going to concerts, which I've talked about on the show before. I've never been to something like this. I've never won tickets to a private event with an artist ever. And it was just really fulfilling. And in spite of that bad news that Sarah and I received, like I came home from that still, like it made me forget about it for an hour and a half. I felt fulfilled afterwards. Her music has even more special meaning to me. And she was just very kind and took the time to talk to people. She's very open. She wrote a love song to her antidepressant medication on the new album. Like,
Fantastic.
She's really great. And you know, I have had the benefit of meeting some pretty cool, well-known folks, and you never know if they're going to be kind or not. You never know. But like, she seemed really genuine in a way that, sure, it could be an act, but I don't think so. It was just a nice moment with an artist that I've become obsessed with over the last couple of years, and she's on the rise, and she's going on tour this year. I'm hoping to see her when she comes to New York, but like, it was just a special moment, and I wanted to share it because I think it's also important during all of this, everything going on right now, to try and find those moments. Yes, of course, we have to work together. We have to push back, but also you need to take care of yourself. And like, it's very easy to want to just kind of curl up in a ball and bury yourself under blankets and never go outside again. And that's valid and a totally valid response. But also taking those moments for yourself that still make the world feel special can really help also, and you need that to recharge. So yeah, it was great, and I made a vision board that I can post a photo of after the episode comes out.
Oh, that's awesome. I was gonna ask what your craft was.
Yeah, so I wasn't gonna craft because I figured I could just be here for the event, but then after Em sat down next to me and everyone else around me was crafting, or parents were sitting with their kids who were crafting, I was like, oh, all right, I should do something. So I got up and grabbed a couple of magazines and a piece of paper, a poster board, and started doing it. It was actually pretty cathartic to look for words or pictures that had meaning to put on a poster board.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. I'm so happy that you had that experience. Like, I talked about this in a previous episode about how crafting is really good for the heart. I talked about like me doing a lot of crocheting and sewing and stuff. So I'm so happy that you got to have that catharsis. Also, in such a positive environment with someone that you admire, makes it even better and more powerful. A while ago, I hosted a zine workshop at a local cafe, and to see what people created with the materials and how they saw the world was just a fantastic experience. Like, I made a little booklet expressing different songs that are meaningful to me. Two of my
Mm-hmm.
friends made opposing zines defending their favorite Pokemon. I think it was Laura's was why is Umbreon the worst, and Gary's was why Umbreon is the best. And then somebody else did quotes that were meaningful to them, and it was just really nice because crafting lets you cut into your heart in a way that is healing. Like, you are releasing something, like you are lancing something out of your heart so that way you can heal.
Yeah, and I think part of what made this special was like everyone was there for the same reason. You know, they all like this artist on some level or another. And people were going around taking photos and videos and like I guess her team who were there capturing the event. And every time they like took a photo of anyone's work or looked at anyone's work, they just said, "That's great," or "That looks awesome." And like people were having conversations. People presented Em with some gifts because it was her birthday and she had posted on socials that it was her birthday. It was a really kind of magical night that I would compare it to what if you got to spend an afternoon with Taylor Swift, or what I imagine that would be like, right? She
Yeah.
seems like someone who is warm and cares, and that's this pop artist who I've been a fan of for a little bit now had a very similar vibe, and so and it made me feel comfortable to work on this thing and do this thing and bring it home. So yeah. So anyway, definitely go check out Em Byhold's work. I think her music is really great. And yeah, so that's my fandom corner for this episode.
You know what we should do? And this is time permitting. We should do a reignite crafting night.
That could be fun, yeah. On the Discord, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just invite folks on the Discord. Come on to the call and do some crafting. And we can chat and hang out.
We could either do it via Zoom or just in the chat channel on the Discord itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
I think that'll be fun. If you're interested in a reignite craft night, please vote Y or N in the Discord.
Yes. I can actually put polls in the Discord, I believe. So we can do that after this episode comes out.
I will take emojis.
Yes, or we could do that too.
Just post a string of emojis that express your feelings.
Exactly. Okay. Next episode, we're going to go visit Gamlin. We have to, for reasons. But at least it's a break from the Mage and Templar BS, so...
Yes, it is. And you know what? I actually like the Gamlin mission.
It's actually a very good mission, even though he is not a very good person.
It's kind of cute.
Yeah, it's a good mission. So do that mission. Should just be labeled Visit Gamlin. And then we'll come back and talk about it.
All right. If you like what you heard here, you can follow us on social media. We're at ReignitePod on Blue Sky, YouTube, and Instagram, or you can send us an email at reignitepod@gmail.com. You can also find us on Blue Sky as Frankie B. Writes and DJ Stormageddon.
Please rate, review, and subscribe if you're not subscribed for some reason to the podcast. We're on basically every podcast platform. And it helps us so other folks can find the podcast. A rating and a review goes a long way on your platform of choice. Basically, every podcast platform now has some way to rate or review. So if you could just take a couple minutes to do that, or if you have access to the platforms that you don't use, like Apple or Pocket Casts or whatever, but still have access to those platforms, rate and review us there too. It's a big help.
And as you know, we're members of the Certain Point of View Network. You can visit certainpov.com to find more nerdy podcasts, each with a unique point of view. You can also find a permanent invite link to our Discord server on our website. Join the conversation.
Yep, we love chatting with you folks, and it's been a blast to have new folks in there as well, talking about the BioWare games of a huge and different variety, all like 10 of them. No, there are more BioWare games than that. But anyway, yeah, please join the Discord. It's the best way and the easiest way to interact with both of us as well. As for personal plugs, I will be at PAX East again in March, and I will also be on a panel. I haven't been on a panel in a while. A friend of the show, Adam Gumbert, is doing Game Pretty, which is a Jeopardy parody, and I will be one of the contestants along with familiar guests of this very pod, like one Jacob McCourt. So if you're going to be there, I believe it's on the Thursday night, but I'll have more hard details about that once we get closer, because that stuff can change. But I'll be at PAX East covering the event with my co-hosts over on Funny Games. So please go ahead and keep an eye out for us if you're headed that way. Otherwise, you can find everything that I'm currently working on at djstormageddon.com. Links to merch, all that good stuff.
I will not be at PAX East because going to America is scary. But you can find me online. My website is frankiebwrites.com, where you can hire me for podcasting, writing, crafting services, or you can just kick me a couple of dollars for a coffee. If you don't want to kick me a couple of dollars, I'd like to ask you to consider donating to a worthy cause. I am a foster carer for animals here in Northern Ireland, cats specifically. I'm currently caring for a kitten named Bramblepelt, who has been throwing up for the past 2 days and is currently spending tonight at the vet's office. He is looking much better. Hopefully, when he comes home tomorrow, he will no longer be throwing up and everything will be okay again. But if you would like to help with the vet bills for not only Bramblepelt, but other animals like him that have come into the rescue in various states of disarray and injury and completely depleted, you can donate through PayPal at Friends of Rescue, or you can find them on Facebook, Friends of Rescue. They're based in Northern Ireland. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly via my website or just reach out to me on the social media.
Awesome. Yeah, go do that. Help those animals. We would, of course, also like to thank Case Aiken for developing some really cool t-shirt designs that you can see at the Teespring for Certain POV. Also, Case designs each and every episode's individual show art. So, as always, we're grateful for that, too.
We'd like to thank Miracle of Sound for our theme music. If you've been jamming along, then you should head over to miracleofsound.rocks and check out Gavin Dunn's other music and merch.
Thank you to Red Spinks for designing our Dragon Age-inspired logo. And you can see more of Red's work at Chaos Does Art on Instagram.
And lastly, thank you for listening. I'm Frankie.
And I am Matt, a.k.a. Stormageddon. And remember, all Templars are bastards. Especially Cullen. Fuck you, Cullen.
Fuck you, Cullen! God, hate him.
Fight for your values and fight for your friends. Fight through this fight, find the light at the end. Through the age of the dragon, the people will talk of the day they were saved by a hero named Hawk. Hawk, 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 Hawk.
Hey, Nerf herders.
You sure you want to go with that?
Hey, everyone.
There we go. More inviting.
Have you ever had a movie that you really wanted to love, but something holds you back?
Or one that you did love in spite of a flaw?
Well, I'm Case Aiken,
And I'm Sam Alisea.
and on Another Pass, we sit down with cool guests to look at movies that we find fascinating,
But flawed.
and we try to imagine what could have been done when they were made to give them that little push.
We're not experts. We just believe in criticism.
Constructive criticism.
Sure.
So come take another pass at some movies with us.
And every now and then we can celebrate movies that did it on their own too.
You can find us at certainpov.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Pass it on.
CPOV.
certainpov.com.